Working together in Chicago parks, fostering partnerships and alliances. Welcome to Chicago at Play.
There isn't a box big enough to wrap the gift Chicago recently received. The new Tiffany Co Foundation Celebration Garden is definitely a reason to celebrate.
Tiffany Company wanted to do a high-profile garden project, and they wanted to do it in a high-profile city, and Chicago is a great choice.
The Tiffany Co Foundation provides grants to environmental preservation and decorative arts projects, and this formal garden fits beautifully into both categories.
Chicago's been a wonderful market for Tiffany Company and one of our oldest markets, so we really wanted to do something important here. If we were going to do it, it had to be special.
Parkways Foundation knew of all of the great projects funded by Tiffany Company Foundation, and we approached them in the very early stages of thinking about the restoration of this South Garden. In addition to providing the $1.25 million for the garden, they were really active partners in helping us create this space.
And now this project exists at no additional cost to taxpayers to the city, and will be a revenue source. And that revenue will pay for the maintenance of this garden. And monies from this rental resource will assist Parkways and the Park District in funding programs and other projects throughout the Park District.
This elegant outdoor space was created to provide a room for citizens to mark life's special occasions.
As you approach the garden from the south, you're led to the fountain, which is the intent of the entire design. The way the hedges, the swag posts and vines frame your view to the fountain. It's an axial space, and that was the intent.
The layout of the garden itself is a serpentine design. It allows for privacy in nooks within the garden.
And we really hope that this is a space that kind of anchors this side of Grant Park. And the views to Museum Campus are beautiful, the views to the city and the skyline and the fountain are beautiful.
This space originally was a rose garden, but roses actually don't do all that well in Chicago's climate. Even though we have introduced some hardy varieties of roses here, the palette is much richer and there's a lot more hardy varieties of annuals and perennials in this space.
We wanted to have flowering that was beginning in early spring, April, May, with flowering bulbs, to continue all the way through to the fall with late blooming plantings. And then into the winter, there's seasonal interest with seed heads and obviously the evergreen borders and the evergreens within the garden. So this is a four-season garden, and as this garden grows over time, it's going to become this sort of jewel of a garden within the park.
When visitors come to the Tiffany Celebration Garden, I hope they notice, aside from the rich, beautiful plant palette, there's incredible craftsmanship as well. There's tumbled brick pavers lining the borders of the paving, and it's just a classic traditional design. It's great craftsmanship that you don't see very often. The entrance points are beautiful herringbone patterns that I think are just wonderful spaces.
It was important to hair-shout Parkways and Tiffany, as well as the Chicago Park District, that we have a rich plant palette and garden feel, but also be able to entertain large groups of people.
Special features like tent pegs hidden along the edges of the garden allow for tents to be placed throughout the space.
We really feel that this is just a tremendous gift to the city of Chicago and to the visitors to the city.
I just hope it's going to be iconic for everybody who falls in love to come here and make it their place.
And this is yet another jewel in our lovely, huge crown of jewels throughout the city of Chicago.